Hi everyone, thank you very much for watching this session. And I would like to talk about how to create an influencer branding and messaging. And this is in conjunction to what we're doing at the moment, where we're creating pages on our website and revising them. And one of the things that we're doing is to also teach people on how to improve their brand. So usually when people ask me on what are the process, what is the process in terms of improving your brand, I would refer to them in using the Fascinate methodology by Sally Hogshead. I signed up with her as a Fascinate certified advisor, and I've used the Fascinate process for quite some time now, actually for almost 10 years already, and I could say that I have benefited from it, and that is why I'm a big believer of that process. So the creator of Fascinate is actually Sally Hogshead. She's the author of the book Fascinate and How the World Sees You. And Global Gurus rank Sally Hogshead as the number one branding guru in the world. So I'm a big believer of her methodology. And actually, any person or any business, regardless of size, can surely benefit from using the methods and process that Sally promotes with Fascinate. So usually, when you go to her website, you will be able to take the assessment. And usually, for people who participate in our branding programs or branding training programs or e-commerce training programs, I usually ask them also to take the assessment and as part of the um, branding development process, whether you're doing it as an individual or you're doing it for your business. So, for example, if you do it as an individual, it will generate a report similar to this, where you will be able to get your fascination advantage report, and it will give you a perspective of what makes your brand distinct in terms of how the world sees you. So usually in the context of how the world sees you, you'll be able to see um, your fascination advantage. You will have a preview of what your primary advantage and secondary advantage is, and this means that you fascinate people in this manner, and this is what makes you interesting to others. So, like for example, the primary advantage shown here is mystique, which means that this is my most effective mode of communication. And that means for mystique, it's really more for being a listener rather than being an, how do you call it, a talker or more of a promoter. My communication is limited in a sense that a lot of the content that I share are usually more of on an exclusive basis or on a limited basis, and rarely shared. But when shared, usually if it is considered of high value, so that means that that is how people get fascinated with me. Therefore, I should use that whenever I communicate rather than just create content at random. I'd rather be very selective and make sure that whatever content I create must be useful to the person. My secondary advantage here is innovation. So, meaning as an innovator, or when I use the language innovation, I don't usually follow what others do. I veer away from tradition, I veer away from hype, I veer away from what others might perceive as the most popular way of doing things. I try to rationalize and try to do things differently, or even if I will adapt, I will still find a way of how can I do it differently without necessarily following the pack. It also mentioned here that my dormant advantage is passion. It doesn't mean that I'm low in that. Actually, when I look at my scores, I'm actually above average in this area. However, since I have studied this seven areas already, that it means that in this case, passion is my lowest from the seven fascination advantage. So what I really like about the report is that it tells you how the world sees you, what's your highest and best value to others, and when you are not most effective, it will also give you adjectives that you can explore in terms of describing yourself, describing what you do, so that you can connect better with the audience. That is why, in my case, my tagline is that I deliver independent insights, no? And of course, I can also use my other adjectives so that I can not only communicate the what, but also the how and the why, and using the available adjectives for me so that I can make my communication more stand out. But it's not just the words, but it's also the tone that you can use so that you can stand out more when you communicate. So basically, that's what Fascinate is all about. Actually, when you take the assessment, you'll be exposed to the 49 personality archetypes, and it will tell you more as to what your primary fascination advantage is, your secondary fascination advantage, and as you in your dormant. And as you learn about it, what you want to do or what you want to achieve is you want to see how can you stand out further by communicating what makes you different, because it's not about being better or being the best. It's all about being able to show to others what makes you distinct from others who are also trying to position their products and services. Another thing that I do, since I also ask my students to take the uh, assessment, is I usually hold on. I usually also ask people to let me just go to this one. I usually ask people also to take the assessment, like for example, the students or the clients that I got the chance to work with, and to have an idea what's their fascination advantage. Now, the good thing in terms of doing that is that it gives me an opportunity to understand them better. Like, where am I more effective? Like, for example, when I ask 42 people to take the assessment, these are students and clients that I got the chance to work with in the past. It lets me know what kind of advantage, what kind of fascination advantage, what kind of personalities get attracted to the products or services that I'm offering. So that means that whenever I design my communication, I'm more effective so far in dealing with people who belong in this personality archetypes. So I'll be able to calibrate my communication from there also. So let's say if majority of people that I got the chance to work with are in the passion and prestige and innovation and mystique, so that means that my communication style connects better with these people. Although my dormant advantage at the moment supposedly is passion, but interesting enough, I'm also able to attract people who have that, no? So maybe there's that sort of complement, no? So so usually when you take assessment, whatever type of assessment, there is a lot of data that can be presented to you, right? But in my case, rather than just making guesstimate as to what my target audience is or why my target audience gets attracted to the kind of product or service I'm offering, I would rather take the approach of knowing what their personality profiles are and how can I use that to communicate my differentiation and what advantage or what fascination advantage can I use to be able to communicate that. So I hope this session is helpful for you. So if you want to learn more, you can visit our website at janettoral.com. And then if you click on branding, then it will give you a preview of what we do. And then, of course, if you want to take the assessment yourself so that you want to give it a try, you will find it in our branding resources. We link to the Fascination Advantage and Assessment Report at the How to Fascinate website if you would like to learn more. And of course, if you have taken the test and you'd like to share and perhaps get inputs insofar as your results are concerned, just send me a private message and look forward discussing it with you. All right. So thank you very much for watching this video.